thought he was our pet, but he was family. What started as bringing home a puppy turned into a lifelong bond that changed two sisters forever. Through every stage of life, their faithful companion remained a source of love, comfort, and joy. On a quiet evening, two sisters, Emma and Sarah, were sitting together in their living room. Their pet dog, Charlie, was lying on the floor near them, occasionally lifting his head whenever he heard their voices. Emma looked at Charlie and said, "Do you remember when we first brought him home? He was so small and scared. He barely even moved from one corner." Sarah smiled and nodded. "Yes, and now he behaves like he owns the entire house. He has completely changed our routine." Charlie slowly got up and walked toward them, resting his head on Emma's lap. Emma gently stroked his fur and said, "He has become such an important part of our lives. I cannot imagine this home without him." Sarah leaned back and replied, "Same here. Even after a long and stressful day, he somehow makes everything feel lighter." Emma watched Charlie for a moment and added, "He understands us in his own way. It feels like he knows when we are happy or upset." Sarah agreed. "That's true. He doesn't just stay with us, he feels like family." For a few moments, both sisters sat in silence, listening to the soft sounds of the evening while their pet rested peacefully between them. It was a simple moment, but one that reminded them of the comfort and bond they all shared. A few days later, Emma and Sarah were again spending time together in the same living room. Charlie, their dog, was unusually restless this time. He kept walking from one room to another, as if searching for something or trying to get their attention. Emma noticed it first. "He has been acting strange since morning. Do you think something is wrong with him?" Sarah looked at Charlie carefully. "He ate normally, and he doesn't look sick. Maybe he is just bored." Charlie suddenly stopped in front of the door, looking back at them as if waiting. Then he let out a soft bark. Emma stood up. "He wants us to go out with him." Sarah sighed slightly. "I was planning to finish some work, but he is not going to let us ignore him." They both got ready and took Charlie outside. The evening air was calm, and the street was quiet. Charlie immediately became energetic, running ahead of them, stopping only to make sure they were following. While walking, Sarah said, "You know, I was thinking about something today." Emma replied, "What is it?" Sarah looked at Charlie running in front of them. "Sometimes I feel like we don't give him enough attention. We are always busy with our own things." Emma thought for a moment. "Maybe you are right. We assume he is fine because he never complains." Charlie suddenly stopped near a small park and looked back again, wagging his tail. Sarah smiled softly. "He doesn't need words to express anything. He just wants us around." They sat on a bench nearby while Charlie played in the grass. For a while, they watched him quietly. There was something peaceful about the way he moved, completely free and happy, as if he had no worries in the world. Emma said, "I think he teaches us something important." Sarah asked, "What?" Emma answered, "That happiness doesn't always come from big things. Sometimes it is just about being present with someone you care about." Sarah nodded slowly. "And we forget that too often." Charlie ran back toward them and sat right between their feet, breathing heavily but looking completely satisfied. The sisters didn't speak much after that. The moment itself felt enough, as if Charlie had already said everything in his own way. Over the next few months, life became busier for both Emma and Sarah. Emma received a promotion at work, which meant longer hours and more responsibility. Sarah had started a new course that demanded most of her time and attention. Their schedules were packed, and the days seemed to pass faster than ever. Yet every evening, no matter how tired they were, Charlie would be waiting at the door. His excitement never changed. Whether they came home happy, stressed, or exhausted, he greeted them with the same wagging tail and joyful energy. One evening, after a particularly difficult day, Emma walked into the house feeling frustrated. A project at work had gone wrong, and she couldn't stop thinking about it. Before she could even sit down, Charlie came running toward her. He dropped his favorite toy at her feet and looked up at her expectantly. Emma couldn't help but laugh. "Bad day?" Sarah asked from the kitchen. "The worst," Emma replied. Sarah smiled and pointed at Charlie. "Apparently, he has a solution." Emma picked up the toy and threw it across the room. Charlie raced after it as if it were the most important mission in the world. For the first time that day, Emma felt her stress fade. A few weeks later, something unexpected happened. Charlie became quieter. He still ate and went on walks, but he no longer ran through the house with the same endless energy. Both sisters noticed the change immediately. One night, as Charlie slept beside the sofa, Sarah spoke softly. "Do you think he's getting older?" Emma looked at their dog and felt a lump in her throat. "I think so." Neither of them wanted to say more. For years, Charlie had been a constant part of their lives. He had been there through celebrations, disappointments, career changes, and difficult moments. The thought of him growing old was something they had never truly prepared for. From that day forward, they made a decision. They would spend more time with him. They started taking longer walks. They visited new parks. They took hundreds of photos. They even planned small weekend trips where Charlie could run freely and enjoy new places. One afternoon, while sitting together in a park, Sarah watched Charlie resting peacefully under a tree. "You know," she said, "I always thought we were taking care of him." Emma smiled. "But..." Sarah looked at Charlie. "I think he was taking care of us too." Emma nodded. "He was." They sat quietly for a moment. Charlie opened his eyes, stood up, and slowly walked over to them. Then he settled between the two sisters, just as he had done countless times before. Emma gently stroked his head. "He's been with us through everything." Sarah smiled. "And because of him, we've been through everything together." As the sun began to set, the sisters realized something important. The most valuable memories in life are often the simplest ones. Not the promotions. Not the achievements. Not the possessions.
We work hard every day to bring you the best manhwa recaps and Reddit stories for your entertainment. Creating these videos requires significant time, effort, and resources from our team. If you enjoy our content, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. Your support helps us continue creating high-quality stories and bringing you fresh content every day. Thank you for being part of our community.